Thank you very much. We can take our seat. I would like to request Mrs. Reva Nkuruba to give us an opening prayer. Thank you, Mrs. Mkuruba. The Honorable Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Dr. J. Muskwere. The Deputy Minister for ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable D. Puti. Deputy Minister of Information, Media, Broadcasting Services, Honorable K. Paraza. The Secretary for ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. B. Chirume. Senior government officials here present today, Director General of Potraz, Dr. G.K. Machengete, CEOs and directors of state-owned enterprises here present, specifically the postal and telecommunication service providers, the chairperson of ZOCC, Mr. Tony Odritsito, Potraz management and staff, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the local content creation workshop. A round of applause for me for recognizing that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable ministers, this is a great day, especially for me. I'm a former journalist, so I remember during our days when we were in journalism with Honorable Paraza, and the rest of, I think some people were here. Gathering 3 ministers in one room was a big deal. And I believe it also is a big deal today. So this is a great opportunity for us here today to actually have you here gathered to address issues of content creation. I was having a conversation with Mr. Chitio the other day, and I was saying, imagine if we could have our own Wikipedia for Zimbabwe, just getting information from one source, and you just Google Zimbabwe Wikipedia, whatever name that we have, what would happen and the kind of content we'd have and the excitement that our people would have. So thank you so much, honorable ministers and the Director General of Potraz for gathering us all here for the purpose of talking about and discussing about content creation relevant for our people. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to quickly just go around and just do a quick introduction so that our guest of honor, as well as the deputy ministers and the DG, can know who is here. So I'd like to ask the gentleman to start from probably here, and quickly your name, the organization you are representing, and then you move it forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Tonio. I'm the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Online Content Creators.
Afternoon. My name is Mnashe Mzingwa, working for Impact Stories Zimbabwe.
Hello, my name is Len Monyoni from Impact Stories Zimbabwe.
Hello everyone, my name is Byron Adonis Mutingwe and I am the publisher and editor or spiked online media.
Hello, Ross Lloyd, TechMac TV, videographer.
Hello everyone, my name is Tinashe from TechMac TV.
My name is Pelagia Mpuro from Technomag Reporter.
Hello, my name is Tafazo Ifans Murangano. I'm a freelance writer.
Hi, my name is Masha Sengwe. I'm with Nawinda.
Good afternoon, my name is Tassisius Marondeze. I'm with TechMac TV.
Good afternoon, my name is Wambe Shingrai from Boston Sunday newspaper.
Hello everyone, my name is Nyasha Mzamba. I'm representing Ayarani.
Hello everyone, my name is Tongai Mwenje. I'm representing ZOCC Secretariat rather.
Hello everyone, my name is Yvonne Muchaka. I'm a freelance journalist, also chapter secretary for ZOCC Central chapter. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Chelsea Mashamamba. I'm a freelance.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Alice Umale. I'm a freelance writer.
Good afternoon, I'm Ross Moyo. I'm the editor of Technomag.
Yes, afternoon everyone. My name is Kenneth Matimaire. I'm a freelance journalist.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Sean Moyo. I'm with an e-commerce portal called Deep League, as well as a news media house called 263 Times.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tafara Stole Potraz.
Good afternoon. My name is Regis Marco. I'm with ZBC News.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivan Jagata. I'm from the Herald.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Princess Pande from Kosazana Media Consulting.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashley Kanyanewe. I'm into artist management and I identify as a social media influencer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Madziwa and I'm a freelance journalist.
Hello, folks. I'm Spinach Madziwa with Zimbo Live TV.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hilary from Newsday.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amos Mshaya from Zimsky News.
Magadi Mesendilotwa Steve Matambo Ngoma from Zimsky News.
Good afternoon. My name is Nkulumani Mlambo from the Midway Coach.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Sukol Lendlovu. I'm a freelance journalist.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Chazoreka. I'm a freelance journalist.
Afternoon, I'm Rodro Chitio. I'm with Potraz.
Afternoon, my name is Leopold Munende. I'm with newzimbabwe.com.
Afternoon, my name is Jonathan Miriam Veka. I write for Gem Nation News, an online newspaper.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Gosana Dlamini. I run Zim Star News.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anesu Masamvu. I'm with ZFM Stereo.
Good afternoon. My name is Abdul Karwangoro, Content and Marketing Manager, IRR.
Mahwachini, Perfect Hlongwane, Sly Media TV, and also Secretary General of ZOCC.
Good afternoon. My name is Bernard Mpofu from the ZOCC.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Nkiwane, Chitungiza Bulletin.
Good afternoon. My name is Shepard Chabat. I'm a photojournalist and designer.
Afternoon. My name is Conrad Manawashe from Maricho Magazine. We focus on the agricultural sector value chain.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Matthew Takao and I am from the Mira in Masingo.
Good afternoon. My name is Godfrey Mataga. I'm from Zimpost.
Good afternoon. My name is Abel Mavura. I'm from Real Time News.
Good afternoon. My name is Nigel Funde from the Morning Post.
Afternoon, all. My name is Nyasha Chuma. I'm from Express Museum.
A very good afternoon to you all. My name is Maxwell Chitendeni from Zim Post.
Maniraka naka, indinaitwa Kennedy Dewera ndinobatane Potraz.
Good afternoon. I'm Hilda Mtekwa from Potraz.
Good afternoon, Baxton Sireu, Potraz.
Good afternoon. My name is Tsitsi Mario from Potraz.
I'm Pardon Gazi from Tech and Zipped.
Good afternoon. My name is Revai Mukuruva. I'm a lawyer with Potraz.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph. I'm with Potraz.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was the introduction. So this is really a great gathering with diverse media houses. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the Director General of Potraz, Dr. G.K. Machengete, who's going to give us some welcome remarks.
Good afternoon. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of our Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Dr. J. Muswere. I think our #1 content creator. I say so because all of you being journalists, I think you have gained quite a lot of content from his speeches all along. So the content you wrote was created, hence our #1 content creator. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Dr. D. Puti, another guru in content creation. I think as journalists, you remember him when he was on with the national broadcaster. Allow me to acknowledge the Deputy Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, again a guru in content creation. The Secretary of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, obviously, as permanent secretary, she creates a lot of content. Then senior government officials here present. Allow me also to acknowledge the Director General of Potraz, Dr. Gift Kalisto Machengete, another content creator. CEOs and directors of state-owned enterprises here present. Chairperson of ZOCC, Tonio Rizito, Potraz management and staff, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. What it means, Honorable Minister, is that this room is full of content creators. I'm actually a huge fan of TikTok. Whenever I get a chance to, I sometimes get around to scrolling through TikTok on my phone. And among my favorites are skits by Nigel. You know Nigel? I also like Kibilem. You know Kibilem? I think me and a million others like. Tinashe Mugabe, of course, produces interesting content. You always want to see part 2 or part 3 when the DNA results are announced. Ladies and gentlemen, the versatility of the social media platforms, such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as other online platforms, such as news and company websites, is quite astonishing. While some people participate in dance challenges on these platforms, others are using the very same platforms to market their products and make money. I've seen a number of artists marketing their music, restaurants marketing their dishes, and the likes of Magic and My Boots marketing their shoes. I've also come across all sorts of nonsensical content on the internet. There is certainly anything and everything online. Let me just say, the internet is awash with content of all sorts. My question today, or questions today, is all that content good and healthy? Is all that content relevant to our society? Is local content assisting in community development? Well, the answers to these questions are yes and also no. Indeed, some content is good and relevant and beneficial, and indeed, some is not. We are all gathered here to see how best we can leverage on the artistic prowess of content creators to create and disseminate local content which benefits our communities. Content which contributes meaningfully to national development, starting with grassroots. Content which promotes government's devolution agenda. Content which creates employment and contributes to the digital economy. That is the content that we are gathered here to witness today. We are all gathered to strategize on how best we can convert community information centers, for example, into hubs for such progressive local content. Honorable Minister, welcome to Potraz inaugural local content creation workshop, where we have invited content creators under the banner of Zimbabwe Online Content Creators, ZOCC, to be part of the exciting deliberations which will follow. Let me take this opportunity, Honorable Ministers, to also welcome officials from the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, officials from Potraz, officials from Zimpost, and of course, the content creators themselves, not forgetting our friends from the media, to this historic workshop, which I believe marks the ushering in of a new era in terms of local content. Since the days of Mukadota family and the days of Gringo, most Zimbabwe's local content has mainly used a combination of satire and comedy to bring out real-life issues. That trend has certainly persisted, as the majority of online content today is known for its comic relief While humor is good, we also need to balance this with a serious presentation of issues. For this workshop, we have a cocktail of topics lined up for presentation by various experts. This workshop will touch on the advantages of local content in local languages and government's expectations in terms of local content for community information centers, community networks, schools, and other facilities where internet can be accessed. Obvious advantages of local content are inclusivity in the use of the internet and employment creation for local content creators. We will hear more on these topics in due course. The workshop will also look at the Cyber and Data Protection Act in the context of local content creation. In so doing, the workshop will be enlightened on the need for child and society-friendly content. Furthermore, we found it necessary to discuss how content may affect mental health. Some content can be tantamount to cyberbullying, while some can amount to peer pressure, which may even lead to suicides. On a more technical level, we will learn of the symbiotic relationship between broadband development and local content creation. As well, we shall hear a presentation on how local content creators can fully leverage upon the vast postal network and on community networks for local content development. Local content creation brings about new opportunities for local content hosting and creating local internet traffic. We ought to replace Google servers with local servers as we move towards the hosting of local content locally. We have so much good content created by Zimbabweans with millions of hits, but all this content is hosted internationally, yet there is provision to do so locally. We shall again hear more on this topic during this workshop. On another note, there is need to create sector-specific local content for the different sectors such as education, health, tourism, mining, you name it. Because content creators may not be experts in these fields, how are they going to generate the relevant content? These are some of the questions we should be thinking of. A presentation to spark discussion on this is on the cards. Furthermore, issues of intellectual property rights are also in the lineup for discussion, as these are central to content creators. Who will own the content that you shall create for community information centers, for example? Can you use that content outside its originally intended realm or use? These are more questions that I am sure will crop up or may be answered in the presentation on intellectual property rights. As you can see, it's a packed program, ministers. But I'm sure it will be quite informative and intriguing as well. I also hope that it will be exciting. And I also think we are now rearing to go. Honorable ministers, with these remarks, few remarks, I welcome you all once again, and I wish you all fruitful deliberations. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Machengete, the content creator. Earlier on, we were actually laughing at him when he said he was Honorable Minister. That he was, he likes TikTok and he flips through. So we didn't know it was actually on his speech Thank you so much, Dr. Machengete, talking about relevant content and how best we can leverage on content creators to create and disseminate relevant and adequate content, that promotes development and all the other issues that he talked about, digital economy, and of course, job creation and national development. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, I would like to invite the chairperson of online content creators, Mr. Tonio Ristito, to come and give his remarks. Mr. Ristito.
Thank you so much. It's too formal and a bit, scary in here, honorable ministers. These fellows here, they're not used to such a very serious program. And it's a little bit tense. I hope everybody else here is going to be able to relax and, refresh. Greetings. How are you fellows? I know it's usually us, talking to them, but today is our event, and it's all our events. So I think that's the reason why people are too tense and serious. But before I just get into my speech, honorable minister, just allow me. We are digital natives, so to our fellow who are here, our official hashtag for this event, I know many people are already tweeting and are talking about this event, is Potraz ZOCC Engage, because when we do what we do, we usually make noise on the social media, so we need to have a digital hashtag that we're going to be following through. So this is what we're going to be doing as far as our digital noise is concerned. And once more again, I would like to thank you, Master of Ceremonies Sibo, for according us this opportunity to speak. It is never an easy opportunity to speak before all these honorable ministers. I know I usually engage you as individuals, but when you come like this, it's not an easy place here, honorable ministers. So if we do skip certain issues and statements, we are not as good as we are when we're doing interviews, because this time around the tables have turned. So yeah, it's a bit of a different environment. But more importantly, please allow me to do thank you for showing up and being here with us. We do not take this gesture for granted, because we know this is a sign and commitment of support to what is going on here. To us, this is a very strong gesture that we do not take for granted, and would like to thank you and appreciate you for taking this moment out of your very busy schedule to make sure that you are here with us and you are supporting these programs, and more importantly, with the youth and the various digital natives and content creators in mind. This is a gesture that we do not take for granted. We would like to thank all of you government officials who are here, because we surely know that you could be busy with other programs, but today you have chosen to be with us, and it's something that we do not take for granted at all. Jumping straight into my quick remarks that I'm supposed to be talking about today, I will jump into exactly who we are. I know you have been speaking about ZOCC, and you've been hearing about ZOCC, and some of you may have heard of ZOCC for the first time ever. So ZOCC is Zimbabwe Online Content Creators. This is an association comprised of many digital creatives, animators, vloggers, bloggers, and creatives that are here. So predominantly, I know many people would just think and take it lightly that we are journalists that are posting content online, but we are comprised with all of these various players, which are very key to what we do each and every single day. Yes, we've got journalists, most of them predominantly they're bloggers. They post and create content on their various platforms. These we call bloggers. We also have got other guys who just focus mainly on videos. These are vloggers. They also post content. Some you call them TikTokers and other, but to us they just fall under a category of vloggers. We also have got digital creatives, animators. Some they do cartoons, some they do creatives, some they just work behind the scenes creating creatives and working around this content. So ZOCC is comprised with all these various digital natives, but the most important thing that really binds us together is where we finally upload this content. Most of this content, if not all of it, is finally uploaded on the internet, because we are all online natives. So this is what we do each and every single day. Online content creators are professional creatives. Each and every single day we take our job seriously, because this is what we do for a living. We do not even do any other job except content creation. So for us, it's a serious profession that we take seriously. We wake up each and every single day to do what we do. That is the reason why we are here, trying to formalize, and each and every single time we also hear and understand the issues of laws and regulations that are around us. We see how best we make sure that we cooperate and we work around a certain framework that makes us coexist within the law. So these are things that we do each and every single day, because content creation to us, it's not just something that we do for fun or things that we do via social media. This is what we do each and every single day for a living, because we take this seriously. It is a job. It is a lifestyle. This is how we create our revenues each and every single day. So you will see that we are going to be mixed up with all these various players, not necessarily just journalists, because I know there's an easy tendency that many people think that we are just people who just post and blog on the internet. But as you have already seen, as I've already alluded, that these are various digital players comprised with all these people coming from these various facets. One of our major values, especially as our pay offline, is towards ethical, credible, professional content creation. We take our content creation very seriously, honorable ministers. So when we are posting information, we know that information is power, and whosoever it is going to affect whosoever it is. So we take this content very seriously, and we take serious measures, internal serious measures that make sure that we create information that is ethical, credible, and professional. This is actually our tagline as far as ZOCC members are concerned. ZOCC is comprised with all these members who abide to a certain digital code of conduct. So if one of our members is going to be outside this certain digital code of conduct, we also take internal measures. That also helps us to see how best we can correct each other, because we understand the power that we've got. Right now in Zimbabwe, I think 80% of the content that many Zimbabweans consume is coming from us content creators. So we are very much awakened to the role that we play as various digital natives, that Zimbabweans rely mostly from us. We push the biggest amount of content each and every single day, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a TikTok video, or it's a newsletter, or even an article that we do within our various websites. We take it seriously because we do understand that we do have a market and an audience out there that takes our content seriously. So half of the time, many people get to, at times they may not even be impressed or like what we do, because we are driven by simple issues. At times, content creators, they produce content that interests the nation. So when things are interesting the nation, they are not always of national interest. And I know here and there we always have clashes even with our authorities there. So some of these things I know you'd want us to always be publishing and be talking about things that always are of national interest, but at times do produce content that interests the nation. Things that interest the nation are those things that actually make our blogs, our various content, and our various platforms create a certain traction, because these are the things that we do each and every single day. I would like to also thank you and acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Media Information. We are very much proud and currently happy with the media bill that we have. Section 64 of the Constitution, it honestly gives us a good leeway to practice and work as various media. I think this is one of the most beautiful pieces of legislation that we've had. We may have issues here and there, but to a larger extent, we are very excited and happy about the Media Freedom of Information Act bill that we've got here as various media players, because it has given us so much rights and power that allows us to do our job each and every single day. I think with that, we'd like to thank you and also salute the work that was done and the input that was done by the Minister of Information, and through you, Honorable Deputy Minister. We do appreciate the work and the fact that you are fully awakened to the needs and the demands of our sector. Jumping through as well, we have a bill that we've got here as various digital content creators. These are things that affect us each and every single day. The cybersecurity bill is a bill that is already running. It's a bill that is amongst us. It's a bill that we live with each and every single day. There are certain areas where most content creators may not be very comfortable with some of it. I know Honorable Minister is smiling. We've been speaking about these things. We honestly feel that maybe a lot could have been done, especially in terms of consultation, because we are the digital creatives and content creators that are going to be affected by certain sections and chapters of these digital laws and media bills. So I think, and I propose, Honorable Ministers, I think in future it is also very, very important that at these critical stages that all stakeholders are fully engaged, so that you get to fully hear us, so that we do not go or push for certain amendments, especially because you are here, our doors are open, and we are very much happy to always have you and engage you in issues that really pertain our day-to-day work offline. Because I'm just doing a quick remark, I'm not going to be doing a quick oversight on who we are and everything else. There's somebody else who's going to be working on this. Honorable Ministers and our guests of honor, it is very important that we also mention issues that affect us each and every single day as various online content creators. I know I have a special speech and a segment that I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow after this. But it is very important that us as various online content creators, each and every single day when we wake up to do our content, we are driven by the market, but more importantly, we are not people who wake up any single day to create content that is unnecessarily controversial or content that puts the government in any difficult place. These various online content creators are professional people, professional content creators who have got also the interest of the nation at heart. Each and every single day when we wake up and create content, we try the best that we can to make sure that we portray and produce the best image that we can for this country. But Zimbabwean online content creators are journalists that produce and create content that is also the best that we can do as far as what we can collect in the market. I understand that too many times there's an interest and the need to make sure that journalists and content creators have a certain narrative. But the best narrative that will ever come from us is the narrative that we get from the various editors that we've got here. Our editors have different editorial chapters, they've got the different editorial lines, but more importantly, I think I have to make sure that I insist on this issue. We are not digital terrorists. I know there was a moment in time when it seems the cybersecurity bill was going to be made for us or against us, but these are very professional and responsible, patriotic Zimbabweans who have got the nation at heart. But we always report things as we see them as they happen, and this is what we do, and this is our role. So each and every single time, and then we hopefully hope that we are going to open up more space so that we will always engage and we'll be able to talk and conference with you on pertinent issues that helps us to move our nation forward. But we are very patriotic and responsible Zimbabweans. I am seeing that the timekeeper is almost on my neck, and I'll cut this one short to the last issues that really pertain to what we do. And then we'll save the best for the next day, which is tomorrow. But more importantly, honorable ministers, we are so much excited. We are happy to be here. And I give you my assurance that all these online content creators are ethical, credible content creators who want to seek and find best ways how we can cooperate and move on, especially with the regulator Potraz. We are so much excited to have this moment and this engagement because for us, it opens up an opportunity to see how best we can exchange our talent and our gifts and find best ways with the regulators that we've got here. It is an opportunity that we do not take for granted. We are going to be engaging and talking and delivering our various points and views and trying to find how best we can cooperate and work with the regulator and the sector more importantly. So in the interest of time, I do thank you so much, and we are going to be digressing about most of these issues in details, but for now, I'm only dropping my remarks, and I do thank you.
Thank you, Tonio. He's looking good today. Did you see that? I haven't seen him look like that. Earlier on, when I was complimenting him, he says, because I know the ministers will come here, so I want to challenge them today. So unfortunately, they came wearing the national dress. So gentlemen, and I think it's a gentleman, and he was saying, Auntie Ndaona DG, I know this is the kind of dressing the ministers. Nothing to my remarks. So thank you, Mr. Tonio, for breaking down what ZOCC does, its objectives, and what you stand for. We appreciate that, and I think it's going to be an interesting 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you broke down what content creators are. I was wondering, Kuti, once in a while, Mtekwa and Buxton, they throw in a few jokes and messages on WhatsApp groups. Are they content creators? Of their level. Mr. Sreu, you are duly appointed a content creator. You can join, and I don't know how much is membership. $50. So you can pay up your $50 membership fee to ZOCC. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite the Deputy Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Honorable K. Paradza, who's going to come and give us his remarks, given that the content creators fall under his purview. Honorable.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm sure you are now relaxed, yeah? Take it down, okay? All right, thank you. May I recognize the presence of our Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Mskwere, and my colleague, Deputy Minister Pute, and the Secretary for ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Chirume, and Potraz DG, Dr. Machengete, other government officials may be here. May I also recognize one of our own senior journalists, Matthew Takaona, former president of Zimbabwe Union of Journalists. And there is also a former commissioner of the now defunct Media and Information Commission. They closed my newspaper. May I also recognize the CEOs and directors of state-owned enterprises who are here, and my brother, young brother, Toneo, who is so eloquent and so passionate about all this content creation. May I also recognize Potraz management and staff members of the fourth estate, my colleagues who are journalists. My minister would have loved to be here, but she has assigned me to come and complement what is happening here. And you were right, you are lucky that you have two deputy ministers and the full minister with you. So few of you. Normally, I do but we are here. It shows that this administration is a listening administration. So that's why we are here. And I think you agree with me that a lot has happened in the last 3.5 years in the media industry. We've done so many reforms. We've thrown away IPA. I know you don't like IPA. Yeah, me too. So we've thrown it away. And in its place, we now have those who are friendly. We have the Freedom of Information Act, and we have the Zimbabwe Media Commission Act, and we are now working on the Media Practitioners Act to deal now with the standards within the profession. And Toneo, you were here a couple of weeks ago when we were dealing with that, and your colleagues here, and we now want to regulate ourselves and deal with ethics, and also to deal specifically with professionalism. And also, in addition to that, these two ministries, ICT and ourselves, by the way, we are the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, not media. The media aspect of it you get in Parliament, where there is a committee on information, media and broadcasting services, but we are on the publicity side of it. So we complement each other. So what we do is that, so this is part of that collaboration where we are interlinked as the two ministries, because we share the same vision. So as media, especially those who are journalists, you use technology to convey your messages. So it's very, very, very important, Dr. Machengete and your crew, that you have managed to put this thing together. We are, as government, we are big consumers of your creation. The content you are creating, we consume it. And recently, we've been going around the country requesting that some of you monetize your content, because we need that content. Because now, as we go towards the 2023 harmonized elections, we need a lot of content, lots of skits, lots of those jingles and so forth. So it's now time for you to make money. We don't want to see a situation where, in the unlikely event that you die, we are all asked to contribute to buy your coffin. No. Yeah, so like what is happening right now, Kadama Sorobi, the contributor and so forth. We don't want that. She was good in what she was doing. So you, as young content creators, we want you to rise above that and make sure that you monetize your content. And also, here we have content creators in various forms. Mostly you are newsmakers. I heard from your introductions. Some of you are into cartoons, videos, and digital format and so forth. But all of you, or most of you, you are accredited with the Zimbabwe Media Commission. So because you are accredited with the Zimbabwe Media Commission, you are also answerable to us as a ministry. But then, because you have another side again, as content creators, and you are also answerable to the regulator, who is Potraz. So you must have that in mind, that ukaenda kutiriko, ukaenda kutiriko. So you are in between. So our interest here as a ministry is actually to promote diversity in what you do within the media sector. We want you to at least to be free, so that you put your mind to whatever you do for the benefit of Zimbabweans. That is what is important. This is why we've undergone these media reforms, because we want you to be creative. We want you to entertain Zimbabweans. We want you to inform Zimbabweans. And also the idea really is to improve the media sector. As I said, as part of our media reforms, we have Honorable Minister, we have done away with the Media Practitioners Bill. We should come to Parliament very soon. It's now with the Attorney General. And also, we are amending the Broadcasting Services Act. We want this to be in sync with the world trends. In the past, we didn't allow foreigners to invest in the media sector, especially the broadcasting service sector, but we've opened up now. We are going to offer up to about 40% shareholding in the sector, broadcasting service sector. Other countries are on 20%. We are on 40%. And also, in terms of share directorship, we are also on 40%. So it's also good for you. And we are also going to say, bars, each year, they must advertise for you. Those who want to go into broadcasting, want to set up their radio station, want to set up their TV stations. So now, possibly twice a year, we are going to say bars, they must advertise. You are aware that we get our spectrum from Potraz as bars. So that spectrum which you got from Potraz, it has allowed us now to have more television stations. We've issued licenses to 6 commercial radio stations, national radio stations, 14 community radio stations, 8 campus radio stations, and our thinking right now is to have all these on air before the end of the year, because we've given them 18 months to set up shop. Then after that, if they fail to do that, we are going to withdraw our licenses. But we hope we are not going to do that, and we've given them ample time. And but before the end of the year, we're expecting a lot of these radio stations to be on air. And it's also good for you. As I've said before, content now is going to be a multi-billion business in this country because of these outlets. So it's very, very important that you create quality content for these outlets. And also, apart from that, apart from these stations, as I said, as soon as they are on air, all of them, we are also going to issue more licenses. This time around, for community television licenses. Those who want to set up community televisions, we're going to issue licenses for that. And also for provincial commercial radio stations. Those who want to go into radio. So there's a lot which is going to happen in the next few months within the media sector. We want to transform. Our focus is to transform, as I've said, this sector to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. Honorable Minister, I'm not guest of honor, so I don't want to preempt your speech. But I must end by thanking Potraz for organizing this workshop so that all of you can at least exercise. I've seen the presenters, a list of presenters is quite good. But however, before I go, let me just advise you, content creators, that please be careful to embed yourselves within political parties. Don't go in too deep, because you lose focus. You become activists instead of being professionals. So that's word of advice. If you see that you are into deep, please leave the profession and come and join us in politics. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Honorable Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Paraza, giving you an open invitation. Those who want to join the political space, it is now or never. Is your hand up, Vanessa? Okay. Thank you, Honorable Minister. We appreciate your presence here today, encouraging responsible content creation and dissemination, within the ZOCC members. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the Permanent Secretary for ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. B. Chirume, to come and give us a few remarks and also then to introduce our guest of honor.
Thank you very much, MC. Let me start by acknowledging the presence of our guest of honor, whom I'm going to introduce shortly, the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, our Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Kindness Paraza, senior government officials who may be here, the Director General of Potraz, Dr. G.K. Machengete, CEOs and directors of state-owned enterprises, the chairperson of ZOCC, we affectionately call him Tonde. I'm so excited that, he has risen from being a very small boy to where he is. Honorable Kindness Paraza, we nurtured this young man. I was part of the nurturing of this young man from years back to where he is. So I'm so excited that we are now leading. Potraz management and staff, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say today is a true representation of convergence. This is convergence at its best. When you have ministers responsible for ICT and information, publicity and broadcasting services together for a single cause, to make sure that the content that we create, I'm sure everybody here is a content creator. Is up to date, is relevant, is responsible, and is meant to educate and inform our citizens for the better. There are many digital platforms. I think the DG in his presentation talked about TikTok, even WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so forth, that we can actually use to provide content to the nationality of Zimbabwe and beyond. Not only that, we have quite a number of access channels and other smart platforms that have been created by government so that we provide relevant and accurate information. My only problem is one day I was driving from Beitbridge to Harare, and there was indeed a fatal accident on the road. And before we even got to Ngundu, one of you guys, I will not mention, talk to me later, then I'll tell you who, on a digital or on an online newspaper, had already pictures posted. But the type of pictures of Honorable Minister were so devastating. I remember in the past on ZBC, it used to say, those of a nervous disposition, please, be warned. And that content is being accessed by everybody, by children, by the, elderly, by some of us who are not as, don't have strong hearts. So you really wonder, is this, what is this content really meant to? Yes, you want to report about the accident, but what is it that you're putting online? So it left me with a lot of questions. And I heard the chairperson of ZOCC talk about ethical, credible, and professional content. I don't know, Tonde, whether that would really be classified as professional content. We have quite a number of other content types where, access is on our children. What is it that we are doing? Are we reporting responsibly so that, our children have access to good content? Let me leave it at that and introduce the number one content creator. That number one content creator is an ICT enthusiast, not only looking at ICT infrastructure development, but has also noted the importance of the content that rides on that infrastructure. And I can assure you, he's so grateful to the DG, Dr. Machengete, whom he requested to set up this forum where we'll be sharing ideas on how best we can create credible content. And unfortunately, digital content, it goes beyond, it transcends beyond the boundaries of Zimbabwe to other nations. What is the image that you are portraying as Zimbabwe? The honorable guest of honor today is the Minister of Information, Postal and Courier Services in the government of Zimbabwe since 2019. And in this role, he's seeing himself being able to drive the Smart Zimbabwe initiative, where the issue of content is very critical, be it content for agriculture, be it content for health, be it content for education, etc., etc. He is the ZANU-PF member of Parliament for Makoni West constituency and Provincial Secretary for Science and Technology for Manicaland Province, main wing, and I'm sure an invitation has been extended to all of us if we want to, to join politics, if we choose to, rather than irresponsible reporting. I think Honorable Kindness Paradza did that very well. He has diverse experience, among them creation of quality content for Zimbabwe, and more so in the realm of ICT. He holds several academic qualifications, and he's already a PhD holder, but he's studying for his second PhD, which we should celebrate very soon, specializing in ICT. He's the current chairperson of the Pan-African Postal Union, PAPU, for 4 years since June 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear content creators, can we put our hands together as we request our guest of honor to come and address us?
Thank you, PS. The Director of Ceremonies. I think the best way is that I've realized that no one has recognized your importance. So we are promoting you from Miss Sibo to Comrade Sibo. That's the first step. The Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Deputy. The Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Paradza. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. B. Chirume. The Director General of Potraz, Dr. G.K. Machengete. The ZOCC Chairperson, Comrade Tonio. Content creators, members of the Fourth Estate, Chief Executive Officers from State-owned enterprises, senior government officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. It gives me great pleasure that I've been invited here to Kadama, Mashonaland West Province to give remarks as part of the stakeholders' approach as we journey towards Vision 2030, and also to officially open this particular workshop, which dovetails with our government's vision in terms of ensuring that we are open for business and we allow the stakeholders' approach as we journey towards a digital economy, a journey that we've committed ourselves to, and a journey that we've dedicated ourselves to ensure that we achieve. Dr. Machengete and team, we are grateful that the brainstorming sessions that this particular workshop is going to generate in terms of the search engines, in terms of local content production, is very critical in terms of image building for a country. So you realize that when the president launched NDS-1, he identified a digital economy as one of the priorities. He also identified image building, and he also identified human capital development. So this particular workshop will ensure that you share the knowledge and experience in terms of how best we can create positive local content, how best we can create the positive right energy that is required for us to build a country. So our mission and vision is to ensure that we connect the unconnected. We've now reached a point of convergence in terms of ICT, publicity and broadcasting services. You agree with me that back then you had newspapers everywhere. You would have to go and buy a newspaper at a certain street corner. But now you are in a position to read all your newspapers from your phone. Now you are in a position to get all your videos or your photos. You no longer need those photographers. Back then you had to go to a studio and to get to meet those photographers. But now because of this convergence, you now have got your radio, you've got your bank, you've got your diary, you've got asset registers, you've got everything that you need. And in particular, all the content that you might want to research on is through broadband. So data is now one of the most traded, either we say it is a service or one of the most traded products, whether it's a service, globally. And all this is possible for us to be able to create content by utilizing ICT gadgets. So as government and as a ministry, we've taken bold steps to ensure that this digital economy becomes a success story. We've done a review of the ICT policy, which soon the President will be in a position to launch. We've done the National Broadband Plan. We've done the Smart Zimbabwe Master Plan. And we are in the process of rolling out most of these aspects contained in the Smart Zimbabwe Master Plan, which includes the smart health, the smart education pillar. But at the same time, for us to be able to achieve, the President has given the direction that no one and no place should be left behind. Because we're in the fourth industrial revolution. We've been extending the infrastructure across the country. We've managed to develop the community information centers. And we've said, since last year, we live in unprecedented times because of COVID-19. We've said all the services, whether it's local content creation in the rural areas, we've deployed community information centers. Where we do not have post offices, we've developed the containerized village information centers. So content creation can come from the traditional leaders, can come from the rural areas, can come from the growth point, from the urban areas, thereby ensuring that we create the right energy for a country. We create the right energy, the right content, which is ethical. Yes, ZOCC chairperson, you've said the cyber and data protection. There are some aspects that you might not be happy about. But I can assure you that the major explicit objective of that piece of legislation, which is very good and progressive, is to ensure that we have ethical, professional journalism. Because we live in the fourth industrial revolution, anyone can take pictures, photos, videos, because now, with the use of smartphones, with broadband, with data, you can circulate any negative or positive content. So the Cyber and Data Protection Bill is to ensure that the safe utilization and access of information communication technology. So this will ensure that we create a stable journalism sector, which is vibrant, which reports on accurate information. I'm also aware that people now are in a position to broadcast anything. I want to my life. Unogona ngorowa live yako uchitaura anything bad about Tonio. Tonio abatwa nemukadzi wemunhu. Before you even leave Kadama, kuti wabatwa uri muhotera, even though dziri nhema, but dzinenge dzatospreada. So the bringing in of the Cyber and Data Protection Bill, which is now an act which the President ascended to, is to ensure that we create ethical journalism. The act also contains penalties for those who report fictitious fake news, which is inaccurate anyway, and unethical in terms of journalism. So this act is there to ensure that journalism is protected. At the same time, I would like to thank you once again, Dr. Machengete, for this particular workshop. The new dispensation has brought in the stakeholders approach in anything. That's why we are here. And utilizing the whole of government approach, the three of us are here so that we listen to your concerns as we build this nation. This is the only country Zimbabwe is the only country that we have. Tirima Zimbabweans. The more negative content that you create, especially when it is not correct, the more you destroy your own country. The more you destroy your own future, the more you destroy your own destiny. I've seen a lot when we do analytics. You go to the President's Facebook page, the amount of energy, of negativity. We all know we've utilized the Mashungo Bridge Road, the good things. There's so many good things that we've done as a country, and we should be proud of. But some of the worst enemies in terms of the development of this country, it's some of us. We don't want to see the good. We are blind to see the good that is taking place, but we want to see the negative. So I want to urge all of us to rethink around image building, to think a lot about how best we can develop our country. How do we create the best people that we envisage? How best do we create the politicians that we want, the country that we all want Zimbabwe to be? So through local content, you realize that most of the content that is being generated, formally or informally, outside the media spectrum, because of the fourth industrial revolution, anyone can be now a journalist. They can report on anything, they can broadcast anything, because the digital economy allows so. But we also, that's why we then put in place legislative measures to ensure that anything that is inaccurate, unethical, perhaps uncouth, can be dealt with in terms of the law. And because of this, we can develop the country that we all want. This is the most important thing. We can create the image that we all want. If you compare the content that is being created in the West, whether it's United States of America, whether it's Britain, versus the content that is being generated in our country, do you see more positive energy in Zimbabwe, or you see more negative energy in Zimbabwe? Number one. Number two, let's monetize the content that we create. Let's monetize and commercialize the content that we create. In the majority of cases, most of the content that we've been creating cannot be monetized. So I want to urge all the content creators to create the content that will ensure that we generate money. There's nothing illegal for any Zimbabwean citizen to generate content related to how we grow our staple food, or how children learn in institutions of higher learning or in primary and secondary education. And still the same
occasions in this field, and many thanks to the organizers of this event for choosing to bring us together. And indeed, it is important and a sign of government's commitment to fill up some other areas that need attention, such as this one. Allow me to
the Permanent Secretary of ICT Person Creative Services, Dr. B. Kirune, the Director General of Potraz, Dr. GK Machengete, government officials here present, the ZOCC, both here represented, the Secretary General of ZOCC, who is here amongst us, all of you colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a pleasure seeing very, very familiar faces here today. It feels like one's in a newsroom. I see a lot of colleagues that I work with and have met in a number of occasions in this field. And many thanks to the organizers of this event for choosing to bring us together. And indeed, it is important. And of giving a vote of thanks. Indeed, an important role that I want to perform firstly by thanking Honorable Dr. Mswere, my Minister in the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, for taking his time and his busy schedule and demanding desk. A seasoned content creator, Honorable KP, we call him that in our circles, for his dedication in this area that he was discharged to superintend over, which area is that of information and publicity. He does it so well, and his presence here is also a commitment that he displays, because Potraz can testify to us how much he has been following up on preparations to this conference. He also reached out to me to discuss details of this conference, and coming here to find him earlier is testimony to his seriousness to such issues. Thank you. I'd also like to thank profusely the Potraz, and of course the man himself, Dr. Gift Callisto Machengete, for leading well, for championing creative ways of bringing stakeholders together to meet for a purpose that touches us all. This is a serious reason for which we have met, and the reason behind us coming here to meet is there for everyone to see. I know that by the end of the day tomorrow, we are not going to be the same. We'll be appreciating more of what we have gathered here than had we not done this. I was listening to the minister telling us of the need to be careful with how we package our content and how we disseminate our information. And indeed, Olendlebe uzizwele. And I also listened to my brother KP when he said, when we report, when we present our content, let us not perform the duty of a hangler and end up being a source that people will discredit. Because as journalists, we know that Ndingawa from a media house today, my editorial policy is different from yours from there. But Patino Sangana, we know that we don't know any language. Atina mtupo unotisianisa kuti. This one is from this media house and this one is from this media house. Kana unayo nongo tenga, tomwatesi. That's how much a family we are. It expresses, therefore, that we will not want to see anything less than the best that we expect of each other. Hatidi kunyarirana. Let me also take this opportunity to thank all of you content creators. Dafara kunjakuti, you are appreciated this much. I think more has to be done. I think this is breaking the ice that my ministry and that of the Minister of Information have identified as a way of indicating how important you are. Can you imagine if one wakes up and finding no news, and vamachengete vachizama kuenda kuTikTok, they find no skits. WhatsApp alone will not be enough. Facebook alone will not be enough. Actually, amama platforms atosara. Those content-loaded areas are now the most exciting. And when this was said by previous speakers, they added and warned that we should be careful of vices of probably doing without realizing the importance of monetizing. And I know kuti varukutaura to the converted, you know this better. But mine is just to thank you so much for your coming here, because it is your presence that adds value. The presence of 3 ministers appointed by such an able president is testimony to the fact that you are being respected, and we have attached a lot of value to this workshop. Somebody mentioned of the legislative frameworks that are promoting content creation, news gathering, and dissemination of news. And thank you once again to the Second Republic for creating a level playing field. I happen to have been one of the MPs who were part of the IPA repealing, ZMC. We met with Nkoma Matthew in Masvingo and a lot of other colleagues. And today we have laws, both from our ministry and the ministry Yana Paradza. My brother Tonel said some gray areas. Yes, my gray areas aripo, kana aripo. No law is perfect, but I think Honorable Minister Mshwere answered. At least our laws are not draconian. And this is a sign that we are ably led. Thank you very much for this wonderful moment. I looked at the program and found that it ends tomorrow. And if you have it close to you, look at the last part of the program. I think it will excite you. Is it not exciting? Cocktail, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, for those words and encouraging words, again, looking at focusing on responsible content creation as well. So we come to the end of our official program. After this short break, we're actually doing quite good with time. We are only about 30 minutes off the program, which is really, really good. We're going to take just a short break and get some pictures outside. Those who want to take pictures, I would like to ask Mr. Chitio to lead our top table, and we go outside. We get some pictures with the honorable ministers. We'll be back here in the next 10 minutes where we're going to dive right to the presentations, the first presentation of the evening, and then we start rolling from there. Thank you very much. We would like to release our guest of honor and the top table so that they can go outside and we can get some pictures. Can we all also then follow and go outside and take pictures, a group picture with our guest of honor and the team, in the top table team. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.